Hi guys, welcome back to Take 5 with PrettyNerdy. I have Travis McIntire with me. He is the CEO of SourcePointpress, and we are at Chicago Fan Expo. First of all, had a couple vibes on the booth. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Attention to detail, fabulous.
Thank you.
Any highlights from the show so far?
I think that the biggest highlight of the show for me has been just the fact that there are so many people at this show. I don't know the last time anybody came to the what used to be Wizard World Chicago, but last time it was 2018, and this has been an enormously better in every way. So that just, there's a little bit of nerves coming back to it, and like, oof, how's this going to look? But I've been really happy with it.
Well, we'll jump right into the next question then without taking a pause. Because it's been since 2018, how has the pandemic affected how you go to cons and how you keep sales up without cons?
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. I would say before the pandemic, we were probably 40 to 50% of our total revenue as a company was conventions, live sales.
Okay.
And then when the pandemic happened, so the last major show, which I'm sure you remember, was like C2E2.
Mm-hmm.
And then like
I was at C2E2 when COVID hit.
So
yeah.
the Monday, like all the shows started to cancel. So that month we lost something like $30,000 worth of just plane tickets because we had London. We had I got on a plane like that Tuesday to fly to Ireland for like Dublin Comic Con.
Oh my god!
And all these shows started getting canceled, and it turned into like a pretty major disaster pretty quickly for us. The way we responded, we had a couple things going for us. One, we own our own warehouse. So we have all our own products. So when people stop shipping mass pallets, right, the distributors are slowing down, we still have product. So we just got really aggressive with like email marketing and kind of started an e-commerce business. And that allowed us to survive through 2020. So for us, the convention is less about making like how much money can we make, how many sales can we make, and more about like how many impactful interactions with fans can we make. Right, so we do a lot of badge scanning, a lot of like free giveaways, a lot of like come and do a fun thing, a lot of come and play this game, or do this, and also you can buy books, you can buy games, you can check stuff out. But for us, it's more about like the long tail of having a quality interaction, right? Because even a really good show prior to 2020, like let's take a New York Comic Con where we'll have 8,000 or 9,000 quality transactions during that show. As we've moved away from focusing on sales and moved towards focusing on the more marketing aspect, or like dealing with people, we're getting like 5 times that number of quality interactions. People remember us, they engage with us later, and so it's been. I think it's made us far more successful. But if all that stuff hadn't happened and we hadn't built this like warehouse that was fulfilling product, it wouldn't matter. We wouldn't have been able to. So everything kind of worked out in a way that I think is better.
With all the stuff we just talked about with COVID and pandemic and how you changed up your plan and everything like that, did that change how you feel about digital comics? And is that an avenue you guys are looking more into now, or what are your general thoughts on digital?
Yeah, I mean, so for us, digital was never like a huge revenue line for us. It was always more about discovery.
Okay.
And so for us, it comes down to like, what's the best possible platform for discovery? So we're less concerned about how many of the digital copies of the thing we sell, and more concerned about how many readers can we get to click on and check out a thing, and then come and buy. At the end of the day, we're paper markets, right? We sell paper products, and that's where our money comes from, and that's the thing we want to create. And comics are, they're crocodiles. They haven't evolved in millions of years because they're really good at being comics.
Yeah, they're good at what they are.
They're really good at what they are, and that's what people want, People want a comic that they can hold. And I read a ton of digital comics. Most of the digital comics that I read are books I actually own, and they just sit at home. But I also have them, on my phone.
For travel purposes.
For travel or whatever. And I think a lot of people are like that. I do think there's a place for the only digital reader. Like, I think Webtoons is great. I think Topics is great. I think it's a different product, right? They're making a vertical reading experience that isn't a comic. Some people don't like it. Some people absolutely love it, and I think it's great for that experience. But the experience of a comic book, I don't know that we've discovered the best way to experience that digitally.
Yeah.
So for us, digital is entirely about discovery, and not about income experience. Yeah. So for us, it's about judging what's the best possible platform for discovery, what's the best possible platform to get us information. Like how are we engaging with people? How long are people reading the book? And some platforms are better than others.
Yeah. Okay, so we've been talking a little bit about marketing strategies and stuff like that, and one thing I really like about SourcePoint is the creators are very hands-on. I have been working with Adam from Corollary a lot.
Yep.
He sent me 3 and 4 yesterday.
Yep.
Very excited to read.
Done really well with it.
Yeah, so that's my very favorite right now. It's a
really?
good one. It was
All
the
right.
first time I ever gave a book a 10 out of 10
Really?
in the Spotlight video.
Wow.
I also have some interactions with Ed, who is one of the artists on second place.
Second place.
And
Yep.
so I guess my question here is, tell me about the life cycle of a SourcePoint story. How does a story become a good SourcePoint option, and what gets it, in the door?
I mean, it's a big involved thing. So we get a lot of submissions.
Okay.
Probably on average 200-ish or so every time we have a meeting, which is usually once or twice a month depending on the month.
Okay.
So from there, our submissions team will winnow that down to around 50.
Okay.
And so what happens is there's a kind of a meeting, and everybody who is a stakeholder in the book. So you got like some marketing guy, Garrett's going to be there, Josh Warner's editor-in-chief is going to be there. They're going to go through roughly 50 titles, and you're going to look at a lot of different things, right? Like story first, great characters are right at the top of the list, but I mean, to be honest, we pass on great characters, great stories all the time, because they also have to fit in, like, what's our strategy as a company, and what are we trying to do, and what do we already have in the pipeline? And is this something that's done? Is this something that's not done? If it is done, do we think that the creator made the best possible choice? So like sometimes you have a better chance if it isn't a fully done thing. Sometimes you don't. Like it really comes down to what are we looking for right now? So to talk about this from a bigger strategy standpoint, kids comics are a big thing for us.
Yeah.
We've got a new label, SourcePoint Kids. We've got a couple of really exciting licenses that we're going to be coming out with in fall and winter, and we have some books launching right now, like Mechanics is on FOC right this second, and I'm super excited about this book. It's about like time travel mechanics. It's like people travel through the time machine and they break down, and this grandpa and his granddaughter are like AAA. Nice. They travel the time and help people get out. It's beautiful.
That sounds fun.
It's amazing. And so for us, if you think back to like the history of what we've done, we started off with like pulp and horror and things like that, like really adult. And then as we've grown, we've expanded and expanded, and we would look for like markets where we think we can compete.
Yeah.
So right now we're trying to push into kids stuff, and we're into 2023 now. We're like, okay, how do we grow our footprint in that market? How do we push into that? How do we get more mass market? How do we get more bookstores? So the types of titles we're looking for have shifted a little bit, right? So your submission comes in, we're going to look at everything first from a standpoint of story and characters, second from a standpoint of how does it fit into what we're trying to do? Like, is there a slot for this?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's as simple as like, I got a Viking horror thing on the schedule right now. This also is a really good Viking horror thing, but we're not going to be able to market too effectively. Right. So sometimes it's as simple as that. Other times it's like, well, this is so awesome, we're going to find a spot for it no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, it goes all over the place. And then after all of that, we got to take the creator into account. Because for us, creators are like a key part of the whole thing. Like no one can sell your book better than you. We like to have creators at shows. We like to really push them. So we'll start to dig into like, okay, who are you? Are you engaging with your fan base? And when I say fan base, I don't care if you have 500,000 followers or 50 followers. What I care about is like, are you engaging with them in a like sincere way, and do they care about what you're doing? Because if I can help give you a platform and put a bullhorn in your hand, if you're already able to like engage in an honest way with like the people that are following you now, I can help you get big. So we look for all that kind of stuff.
So has there ever been a time where you ran into that situation where somebody brought you a story, loved it, it was a little too close to something you were already working with, that maybe you shelved it for later, or is that something that you do? It's maybe save some for later to revisit?
There's been a couple of times in the past where we've done that. The way we would phrase it is like, listen, we really like what you're doing, we can't fit it right now. If you want to wait, we might have a place for this in the future.
Okay.
Or if you want to crowdfund this and then later release it through the mass market or into distribution. Like that's, generally speaking, that's how it ends up happening. If we're interested in a thing, we don't have a place where in our schedule to like go into production. Like, we don't we don't want to stand in front in the way in between the creator and their most hardcore fan, right?
Yeah, if you can do it, do it.
And if you're a creator who has like capability, if you gather the crowd around yourself enough to do things, like go ahead and do a Kickstarter or whatever you're gonna do, do that, and then when things are cleared up from us, we can run you through the street.
Yeah.
So we do that a lot, and every once in a while you get one and you're like, 10 years ago I would give my right arm to have worked for you, and now we really don't have an opening schedule until 2023.
Yeah.
So like, are you willing to move out of this? Like, I think I'm gonna shop it. Like, you're like, oh, no, I don't have it. Now you're not gonna get it. But like, it happens all the time.
Yeah. So with that being said, have you ever passed on a story and then just like got real mad at yourself, like I should not have passed on that, like went back and regretted it?
Stabby Bunny, probably.
Or have a stuffed Stabby Bunny in my YouTube corner.
Yeah, that's the one that comes to mind most.
Ouch.
Stabby Bunny. Yeah.
I feel one for you.
Not only like it was a while ago. He's been doing that book for a long time. Like,
yeah.
Book, long time. It was a long time ago. We passed on it. We passed on it because we had Rochdale, which was another like comedy bunny killer.
A little too similar.
And we were like, we don't want to do that too much. Scout, of course, picked it up, did really well with it. But more than anything, with that one, is like the perfect example of that team is really engaged. They're super like focused in on their fan base and how to like activate that fan base and how to like make their book as successful as it can possibly be.
That team are the people that are responding to DMs. They are the people that are following up with people if they have questions and stuff like that. And that is so valuable. So yeah, like I can definitely see that.
When a fan base feels like they have a personal connection to the people that are making something they love, like the value of that is people they come back.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap up, but so you mentioned a little bit about your excitement about the kid stuff that you guys are throwing out there right now. Is there any one project that doesn't fall into that kid side of things that you're really excited about that's coming up that you want to talk about?
Little Red Runner.
Okay.
It's probably the thing I'm most excited about. It comes issue 1, hits shelves. It's rough. It's like 2 Wednesdays from now, I think.
Yeah.
2 Wednesdays. 2
I think
weeks.
so.
Number 1 hits the pre-sales on it were awesome. And we have really high hopes for it. The story is amazing. The art is incredible. It's Garrett, who's he's one of our major guys.
Yeah.
It's an awesome story about like a red panda samurai telling the Red Riding Hood story. The imagery art is incredible. It's fun. It is definitely involved.
Okay. So don't tell him my red panda.
It's very bloody. It's the way I kind of picture it is like. So you've seen Turning Red. So Turning Red is for like girls, middle and school age girls.
Yes.
This is more for like women, like who also they want like cute like blood.
Yes, cute and angry and gory.
Cute, angry blood. It's
where your market right now.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's fun. So right now, that's one I'm very keen on.
Cool. Yeah, I can see that like hitting a lot of markets. A lot of us are gonna like that.
I hope so. And if not, we'll just fire Garrett.
Fire Garrett. He's so great. Well, thank you for your time. Thanks for coming and hanging out and learning a little bit more about what happens behind the scenes. I know you guys love these books and thought it would be nice to kind of hear from the source how they become those books. So.
Thanks all.
I'm going to check in with some creators and see you later. Bye.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Garrett Gun. I'm a writer here at sourcepointpress. I'm the creator and co-writer of Good Boy, Warcorn, Sprinkle and a Ghost, a bunch of ridiculous titles for SourcePoint. I'm here at Chicago Fan Expo. We've got an exclusive cover for the show by Lyrics of Volume 2, Number 1, as well as the Good Boy trade paperback for the first time offered publicly. So it's a blast. We're having a good time. Yeah.
I'm Lex Lyon. I'm the production manager and artist for Deepwater Games, and then I also make toys and do 3D modeling. This is for our new project, Cuddlee Kaiju, which is also going to be a comic as well. I don't know if we can see it down here.
Nice.
It's a campaign that we're running on BackerKit.
Okay.
We made like a little video. Well, I made a little like video for it and made a whole backer kit. The comic's written by Garrett Gun and Christina Blanche. So yeah, making these plushies was really fun and cool, and it's really awesome to like see them in real life now. one has a little butt.
Oh my gosh, all the cakes, so cute.
I love them. Yeah.